Hey guys, welcome back to another redstone video. Today we're gonna play around with a carpet feature that was added a while ago. It's really interesting. Traveling with a boat on ice can be one of the fastest ways to get from A to B in Minecraft. You can accelerate up to 72 blocks per second or 260 kilometers per hour using a long enough blue ice track. So blue ice blocks are definitely one of the more requested blocks in the game, but at the moment they're actually quite expensive. So you could either try to find an iceberg and destroy the landscape in a normal survival world, or you could make an ice farm and craft all the ice into blue ice. Unfortunately, it's really expensive. You need to spend 82 ice to get one blue ice block. So I'm gonna craft all of the ice of a double chest here into blue ice, and we'll see what we actually get out of this. It's only 42 blue ice, and we also get 6 packed ice. So it's a really expensive crafting recipe. In my opinion, it would also be enough to have a 2x2 crafting recipe. So you need to spend 4 ice to get packed ice and 4 packed ice for 1 blue ice. So 16 ice in total for 1 blue ice block. When a crafting recipe for ice was added the first time, I was obviously happy that we have renewable blue ice now. But on the other hand, I also thought a crafting recipe is a bit boring. I usually prefer game mechanics to farm a certain block over just plain crafting, so we thought about an alternative to a crafting recipe. To make things a bit interesting, we came up with the idea that we could use anvils to compact ice. Probably doesn't make too much sense, but it's definitely an interesting game mechanic. So we have a custom carpet rule called anviled packed ice or anvil blue ice. We can also set a certain value. So we need to basically spend 4 ice blocks to get to the next tier. And the way it happens is we drop down the anvil and it would convert 4 ice blocks into the next tier. Then if you have 4 packed ice, you can also drop an anvil again and turn it into blue ice. So we could actually make some kind of a contraption that would do this automatically, which would be definitely a lot more interesting than just plain crafting. Later I thought it would also be a nice idea to have another tier of ice that you can't have in item form. So we also added a rule to be able to convert frosted ice into normal ice. But that's a bit more tricky because frosted ice has a couple of conditions. For example, it always needs neighboring frosted ice blocks. Otherwise it would actually turn to water if it gets updated. So if we try this with just a normal column of frosted ice, we'll see this won't be successful because the frosted ice converts into water. To get around this issue, you can have additional neighboring frosted ice blocks to prevent this from happening. So let's check this out. We got a 2x2 frosted ice now. If you drop the anvil, you can actually convert the frosted ice into normal ice. Water spreading is one of the basic mechanics in Minecraft, so you can generate new water sources by using this mechanic. So if you have a water source on the left and the right side, then in between also a new water source will be generated and you can continuously take this out. And we can convert that water into frosted ice by using an armor stand that is equipped with frostwalker boots. So technically we can create blue ice using the anvil mechanic from scratch. What makes this whole thing a bit tricky is the fact that anvils get damaged if they fall down, but only if they fall down further than a full block. So you can always drop down an anvil a single block and it won't get damaged. And the anvil is also not movable. So getting the anvil back up again is a challenge. You basically need to turn them into a falling block entity and then you can move them. So here's a way, for example, to bring an anvil back up without damaging it. We can use a slime block. So basically depower the sticky piston of the slime block, then the anvil just starts falling and we shoot it back up. And here at the top, just have some string that would push out a block once the anvil passed. So let's check that out. So there we go, and we push a block below, and it's back up without getting damaged. Also tried to use the bubble column. That seems like an alternative as well. So here we just push the anvil into the bubble column, then it also shoots out at the top. We actually have this anviled ice rule enabled on my Patreon server. So the goal for this video would be to make a basic blue ice farm from scratch. So we want to make a fully automatic machine that would turn frosted ice into ice, to packed ice, and to blue ice. And a player with a silk touch pickaxe could mine it. So let's start with a basic machine. Here we convert 4 ice into 1 packed ice. So just push it forward, we drop an anvil down and push it back up with the slime block. There we go. And yeah, the Anvil is caught again by the piston that extends just at the right time without it taking damage. We also saw that we actually need to have the Anvil landing on top of the slime block for a short moment. So the reason is that otherwise it would actually fall further than the block, and there's a small chance it would actually take damage. So that's why it drops on top of the slime block there for a moment. So next we need to do the same with frosted ice, but it's a bit more complicated to push the frosted ice around, because there's always this condition that frosted ice needs 2 neighbor frosted ice on the side, otherwise it would immediately turn into water. So that's why we came up with this thing here. We have 2 waterlogged stairs, and in the middle we can generate the frosted ice by pushing the armor stands. And then we can push everything forward by providing extra frosted ice on the side. Okay, we can actually turn this on. It's already running on the clock. So that here the armor stands turn the water into frosted ice, and then we can push it forward. Then the Anvil converts frosted ice into normal ice, and it's getting shot up again. Okay, then we pull out the normal ice block and push it sideways, and then up. And as soon as we got this line of 4 filled up, we also push this forward and convert it into packed ice. So let's wait a moment so we can see that. And here it goes. Now we drop the next anvil and get the packed ice. Again, we pull it out and push it over. Now we already got 3 packed ice here. Won't take long. Basically just 2 normal ice more. And we get another blue ice block. There we go. Now we drop down the anvil. Pull it out, and last step we make the blue ice. Okay, so this is basically now a fully working blue ice generator. Obviously it's quite slow, but it's a working one. So now the next step to make a really efficient machine out of this would be to utilize this frosted ice generator a bit more. Instead of waiting until the anvil is finished, you could maybe push out multiple lines of frosted ice and use multiple anvils to convert more at the same time. Then we could also parallelize the whole thing and maybe have multiple frosted ice generators that would feed the packed ice to blue ice converter in the end and make a really fast system out of this. Eventually we would also be probably limited by the breaking speed of the blue ice. You can't instant mine it like the packed ice. I think it takes 8 ticks at best to break it. But this would be a kind of a limiting factor in the end anyway. But yeah, I think this is a really nice mechanic. It's already part of the Patreon world, so this will be used on the Patreon server. I even play with the idea to maybe add this feature to the Peaceful series as well, because I really like it, and this would also spare us the effort to make another huge iron farm there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this idea and the video as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye!